Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. Learn the language of the animals, the spiritual and magical powers of creatures, great and small. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel. Gratitude. Welcome. Peace, everyone. Peace. We made it. Live from the light in LA. So, we pick up at page 219, chapter 12, Animal Rights. That's beautiful. Peace, everyone. Welcome. Here we go. Number 34. I wish you all the best. Thank you for reading with us. Chapter 12, Animal Rights, page 219. Animal rights and animal rights are frequent subjects for discussion among metaphysical and other New Age groups. It would naturally be assumed that the two go hand in hand, but in some circles, this is just not so. It is amazing how often I hear stories of animal rights that involve sacrifice. There is a popularity of voodoo in parts of the country where chickens are frequently slaughtered in ritual. With the return and popularity of shamanism, many assume that animal sacrifice is a natural part of attuning to nature and that it is okay, as long as the animal is honored. At the time of harmonic convergence, I heard many horror stories of shamanic groups making sacrifices of chickens and such to Mother Earth. Hunting seems to have become more popular of late and even encouraged among some groups. One woman who was consulting me told me how happy she was that she could send her husband out hunting so that she could have skins to make her ritual garments and thus become more at one with the animal. Nothing is more dangerous than a little knowledge. All such activities I find appalling. It displays ignorance and a great disrespect toward nature. Some may argue that the animals die in nature anyway, and so no real harm is done. This is a predation this is true. Death is part of nature. The death, though, occurs as a part of the natural cycle of predation or sickness, not through artificially induced elements. No matter how it is rationalized, hunting is not a sport. A sport involves a contest between individuals equipped with the same tools. I have no qualms about reporting abuse activities to the proper authorities. Many shamanic purists believe that this is the only way to truly attune to Mother Earth. But no matter how they rationalize it, these individuals are operating under some grave misconceptions. In more primitive times, these kinds of rites were a part of life. An animal killed was killed for survival. It was an act as much for self-preservation as for religion. Every part of that animal served a function and was used, often because there was nothing else available or that the people did not have the right knowledge. These societies also had extremely poor hygiene, a short lifespan, and an extremely difficult existence. Do we want to return to those aspects as well? In some ancient societies, the letting of blood was a means of releasing a form of psychic energy found in the blood that could amplify the energy of the priest, the priestess, the shaman, the magician, or the medicine person. It was the only way they knew. Today, humans have evolved beyond the need for such activities. The human psychic energy is too strong and vital, and such activities simply contaminate the human energy field. No matter what kind of cleansing and purification activities are combined with it, they pollute thoughts, emotions, and even the physical health. Those who proclaim it's necessary are misguided. They are either individuals who refuse to take the time to develop their abilities in a more natural manner, or they still believe that magic and mysticism is something supernatural and beyond themselves. Eventually, in such cases, the law of reciprocity will kick in, but at what expense? Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, everyone. Reading Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're at the page 220 in chapter 12, Animal Rights, for those reading along. And they're all on the playlist, so you can read all of them together. Thank you so much. Remember that mimicry is impotent. Many mystical and magical formulas have come down to us through the ages, and many groups hold strictly to them, never altering the rites and prayers. And then they often make excuses for why the energy invoked and expressed was less than what it was designed to be. For true magic and spirituality to occur, we must take what we have learned and then add our own creative intuition and imagination to it. This alone gives it power. This is what makes it truly magical. Being responsible and living a mystical life requires that you take what you can find from whatever source you can find, extract it, reshape it, and then synthesize it into a system of creative and productive growth that works for you individually. It is using what you learn in the manner that is best for you and all life around you. We can never again experience those good old days of the ancient shamans, nor should we want to. If we believe that we must kill an animal or sacrifice it to become at one with it, there will soon be nothing left but pictures. Which would you rather see? A wolf in the wild or a picture of a wolf in the wild? What we can do is take what the ancient shamans taught and adapt it to our present lives and circumstances. We can search out beneficial ways of gaining the attunement. I know a number of individuals who have found a wonderful compromise. In our city, or in our society of high traffic and the impingement of roads upon natural lands, most people are familiar with roadkill animals. An increasing number of individuals are carrying gloves and plastic bags in their cars. When they come across a roadkill, they stop and gather it up, and later they perform their own ritual to honor it, maybe even saving some feathers or pelts. Some just stop and move the animal off the road so that other animals which scavenge upon it will not be hit by the ongoing traffic as well. This is a tremendous honoring of the life of an animal and of nature. It says to the spirit of the animal, "Your life was beneficial." I carry gloves, a blanket, and bags in my car. With all the traveling that I do, I often come across hurt or dead animals. I have a story about that today. It is sad to see the numbers and kinds of animals that are hit. I have seen hawks, crows, opossums, raccoon, groundhogs, bobcats, coyotes, and many others. I have even been unfortunate enough to hit and kill a small animal that froze in my headlights. It is a horrifying feeling. I have not always been in a position to stop, but when possible, I do. If only to move it off the road. I say my own prayer to release its spirit. I express sorrow for its sudden and unfortunate death, and I wish it well, promising to try and aid its kind in the future. In the spring, it is not unusual to see opossums that have been hurt or killed. When possible, I try to stop and check it. If it is a female, there is a good possibility it is carrying young in its pouch. Though the mother may be dead, the young may live. Once, while returning from Colorado, I was driving through Missouri. It was after several days of heavy rains. The ground had become so soaked that hundreds of turtles from the woods along a stretch of highway had come out and onto the road. They were found in both lanes of the highway, covering an area of about 5 miles. It was difficult to avoid hitting them. I checked my rear view mirror to see how other drivers were doing. Some drivers did not even bother trying to miss the turtles, but I was amazed by the driver of a semi truck. He slowed to a minimum speed and went out of his way, maneuvering his truck around the turtles, not harming a single one. It was amazing seeing him handle that big rig and being able to avoid every turtle. Considering the number of turtles, it was an impressive piece of driving. As I left the turtles behind, I sent them a prayer of protection and a special prayer to the truck driver as well. Such activities are rites which honor the natural world. Rites to honor and connect with the natural world can be as simple as a prayer or intricate as a shape shifting ceremony. The ones which follow are designed to be both simple and effective. Do not be afraid to adapt them or create your own. They will stimulate ideas for working with your spirit animals more creatively, more creatively. We're at the bottom of page 221. Yay! Peace, everyone. Peace, Dane. Highest heart love, Coco. Lamont. Highest heart love. Peace, Queen. Much love. Much love. Happy Friday. Hope you had a wonderful Juneteenth. We used to always play kickball and wiffle ball out there with the family. It was a big event for us, and they still do it in South Jersey and Philadelphia as well for both sides of my family. So hope y'all getting that love. Here we go. Preparing for animal rights. Thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing the 500, guys. Preparing for animal rights, page 221. We'll do one more page and then pause. And I'll come back. Mention the word ritual to a dozen people, and you will receive a dozen different reactions. The responses always vary and are all often confusing. Much has been written about ritual in the past, but unfortunately, it is often absurd and ludicrous derivations of true ritual techniques. Most opinions that people hold toward rites of any kind of come from the fabric of the imagination, as stimulated through television and movies. Most of it is hype, revealing little understanding of the true potential for aligning ourselves with the variety of energies existing in the universe. Page 222, angel numbers. We'll go down to the bottom of this page and then I'll pause, okay? Highest Heart Love, Animals Speak by Ted Andrews. Learn the language of the animals. Top of page 222. A good deal of information on ceremonies and rites and those who partake in them is conceived and performed for the dabbler of or the psychic thrill seeker. Many invent ritual practices to cover their own misbehaviors or to cloak their own ignorance. It was once believed that rituals only concerned themselves with angels and demons, but we must realize that we all use ritual every day of our life. How many of us follow a set routine every morning? Do we get up, shower, drink our coffee, read the paper, and then go to work? That is ritual. We have personal rights, military rights, religious rights, social rights, rights associated with every aspect of human expression. What we will explore through the rest of this chapter are rights that will help you to honor and attune to the natural world and the animals within it more effectively. We will show you how to create routines that will enable you to look at nature and the life within it in a manner that will reveal the higher forces at play within your life. The rites will help awaken a greater love for all manifestations of life within the world. Ceremonial rites stimulate inspiration. Their primary purpose is to awaken within the participants of a greater realization of connectedness to all energies of the universe. They help us to recognize that we are a microcosm. Everything we do affects everything else in the universe, and everything else in the universe is reflected within our own lives. To fulfill that purpose, you do not need intricate tools, instruments, robes, and temples. It is simply involves a creative application of your mental faculties along with specific lines. Nothing more than an open mind, an expanding awareness, and persistence is necessary to see results. A ritual or ceremonial rite is anything done with strong purpose, intention, and emphasis. It provides a means for experiencing the inner worlds more fully. It rewards you with greater self expression, self discovery, and self exploration. Keep in mind, though, that most of the rituals of the past will no longer work effectively with the energy of the present. Today, an effective ceremonial rite involves the emergence and the harmonizing of ancient sacred traditions with modern creative impulses. We build upon the old, but we add our own creative intuition to them. There are many ritual traditions to choose from. Most have their own animal rites and ceremonies. The Kabbalah, the Egyptian, Orphic, Celtic, American Indian, Macumba, and African, and other shamanic societies had their own unique methods of rituals. It is always a good idea to study the ritual techniques of a tradition thoroughly before creating and adapting it for your own purpose. Be familiar with what the symbols and energies of the rites were designed to do. Otherwise, you may find yourself uncomfortably surprised by what you invoke. A successful rite, whether it is to connect with nature, animals, or any other purpose, will focus and improve your memory. It will enable you to experience certain energies without being overwhelmed by them. It will expand your consciousness, stimulate creativity, and increase your overall confidence levels. Usually, within 3 to 7 days, you will get a tangible confirmation that it has fulfilled its purpose or is in the process of doing so. There are several preliminary considerations necessary before beginning any work with your spirit totem. We'll pause right here, pick back up. It's beautiful reading. Chapter 12, we started. Yay! Animal rights. Rites, rights. Nice, Harlan. Animals speak. Learn the language of the animals by Ted Andrews. The spiritual and magical powers of creatures, great and small. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Riley. Thank you so much for reading with us. Much honor and love. Thank you so much. Peace, everyone. Shaking it up in the world. Part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I wish y'all are all having a wonderful, wonderful evening. Highest heart love, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Stay gratitude. Namaste. Highest heart love. Thank you so much, Coco. He's shaking it up. Y'all enjoy evening. Have a wonderful rest. Going to the Rose Quartz Cloud tonight. We're going to that's right, the Rose Quartz Pink Cloud tonight. Woo! Yes! I love y'all. Bellissimo. Shukran. Y'all have a wonderful, all right? Peace and honor. Thank you so much of love and abundance of light. Yes, Coco. Honor and love. Peace, everyone. I'll see you soon. Okay? We'll be back.